Just you better be ready. Because it's recording.
Did you get the laudanum?
Oh, we have laudanum? I didn't get any laudanum.
Is laudanum really cocaine? I thought laudanum was a downer.
I believe laudanum was cocaine, but it might have been heroin. No, yeah, I think laudanum is cocaine actually.
Because they take it to put them into a catatonic state and have crazy dreams and shit.
I want to say it's cocaine though.
It's not cocaine. What is that?
No. Rain. Maybe.
What's it out there with a fucking giant stick hitting the...
I don't know. No, laudanum is opium. That's what it is.
Did you see the operating table light?
I did see the operating table light. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. Now we're gonna need an operating table.
We kind of have one.
That's a autopsy table.
Same thing. I mean, if we operate on anybody, they're gonna die.
Does so the embalming table.
Embalming table
is metal. It's porcelain.
Yeah, it's porcelain.
There's no pad. Does a operating table, like when they operating you, like cut your guts open and stuff, does that
have a pad?
Have a pad on it?
No, I think it is also a stainless steel table.
Is it?
Yeah, with a sheet over it.
Wouldn't you get cold?
Well, in a couple seconds they're gonna. You're usually not awake for that, but maybe I don't know. Maybe there is some sort of pad, but it would seem like that would be a disposable thing.
Yeah, not too hygienic.
Not too hygienic.
So we got some questions here. We got some people's.
From when?
From the 8th, which is Friday.
Oh, so the Friday podcast. Hey.
Where all your stories, John? You always let Skully tell them. And then he says, "More stories, Skully."
John tells stories.
William Shelton says he deleted his Facebook and Messenger account yesterday. You wouldn't be doing business with us then.
Well, and you also didn't really delete it, but...
Yeah, that's it. So, go try to actually erase all your Facebook shit. And your phone, Google any operating system, Android operating or iPhone operating system. Makes it super, super easy for you to get back on. Like, they have your hooks in you. Anything that you put up there, they own that. So, leave your page down for a year, and then just bring it back up. You can bring it back up literally with 2 clicks of a button.
Yep.
Even though you think you deleted it, everything you had there is still there. And what you also don't know is that I believe I can go fucking find your page and see everything that you had there also.
Yeah, it's not really...
It's not gone.
When you erase it from your phone or your computer, all you're really doing is slowing your access down to it. You're not really closing that page out at all. It's there forever. It's part of your user agreement. You signed off to Facebook. They own the rights to everything that you put on there. So there's a sneaky way of doing it. You can go through and just start deleting all your...
One at a time.
One at a time. Start deleting everything on your thing. One at a time. And you will eventually delete... So all your pictures will be gone and all that. But when you put your name in, all your comments, all that stuff, that's there forever. It'll just come right back up. And I'll bet, even after you delete them one at a time, that Facebook will probably have a little box that you can click, like... Do you want to add all your pictures back? Boom, and all the pictures. I don't think you can get rid of it at all.
That was yesterday. Deleted Instagram a year ago and never had Snapchat or Twitter. Got rid of cable TV and satellite a year ago. Good for you, man.
Good for you on all that
whatever your motion is, whatever direction you're heading, I hope it fucking benefits you, man. More power to you. Probably thinking of the USS Missouri, Iowa-class battleship. Has all analog technology, which can't be jammed. Yes, I believe that is it.
Yeah, it's the Missouri and the New Jersey is in Hawaii. The Missouri is...
This was not in Hawaii.
Yeah, the Missouri's not in Hawaii.
Yeah, where is it?
I don't know. I don't know where it is.
This is the one... Yeah, it was definitely not Hawaii.
The oldest one is the Texas, which they'll never refloat that. But
where is it?
It's in Texas. And it's actually a World War I battleship that is a museum, but...
Is it in the water?
It is in the water, but it's leaking.
A lot.
Yeah, it's leaking a lot. So they're trying to fix it. I'm sure I don't know if they've fixed it yet, but they've put it in. They're cordoning it off so they can drain all the water out, so they can try and fix the leaks on the outside.
I think it's moved a bunch, right?
Yeah,
Somebody
I think the
bought
Texas
it,
might.
and
I think the Texas has moved around a little bit.
Maybe we should buy it.
I don't know if
Would
we
it
could
fit in the back.
Oh yeah, we could put it back there. I don't know if we could afford it though. Not saying that it's just the scrap weight of the Texas or the scrap weight of those ships. That's how they get rid of them. Is they get rid of them by scrap weight.
Whatever happened to the building you were going to buy in Jackson? I saw a couple of videos about it and then never mentioned it. We were not going to buy it, and we were told originally that it was zoned wide open. So I had all kinds of plans to make it worth doing. We had to do a lot in order to make it worth doing, to have a 65,000 foot building. Come to find out that we were not at all zoned
for
as
anything.
we were told, and we couldn't have clients come to the building, which negated putting a restaurant, a gym, car wash, laundry facility. It negated everything fucking we had even talked about doing. So shifted gears and refocused everything back here. Whatever happened, we did that one. So you guys are mad at not only liberal Californians that moved to Tennessee, but Californians who are otherwise like-minded but are accustomed to decency and are not trailer, trailer park trash, I'm guessing he's talking about. No, fuckhead, as I replied to you already, don't move next to a fucking place that you don't like and expect them to change. We don't give a shit what you want. All these motherfuckers talking about getting out of California.
Everywhere they go, they're taking California values to those places, and they are ruining those places. They are making them just like California.
For instance.
So if you want to move here and, just live free, I don't care where you come from. But if you want to move here from California and bitch that somebody has trash in their yard, you need to move back to California.
Buy more property where you don't see their fucking trash.
Yeah.
We don't have trash in our yard. Our shit's all fucking pretty nice. But don't fucking come here. It's like these motherfuckers all moved here and then start complaining about the fucking gun show, and now there's no fucking gun show in Nashville. That's not because of fucking people from Tennessee.
No, that's from
That's
people.
because people from fucking California moved to Tennessee. That's what that bullshit's all about. Don't fucking come here and try to change some shit. Just like we won't go to fucking California and try to make you fucking be free. You can stay fucking slaves. Stay over there in your slave state. There is no mistake. Wars are all arrangements. The lefty commie Marxists run the show. The commies want full global control. Of course they do. Cody Mays. World War I was a giant family pissing contest between cousins. King George V, Tsar Nicholas II, and Kaiser Wilhelm were cousins. Wilhelm was also Queen Victoria's oldest grandchild.
Yeah,
Funny how that works, huh?
And they used to it's funny that Wilhelm would go to, prior to World War I, he would go to England and see his, what would that
Mama.
be? His mom, the Queen Mother, and everybody, they all made fun of him. So it's almost like he wanted World War I to break out so he could fucking show them that he was better than they were.
Yep. It's weird. You're not taught that in history. That wasn't in your fucking in your history or your social studies. That wasn't in any of your fucking classes that you.
Yeah, they were all related. Kind of almost like they're all related still.
100% all related. Fucking inbred and unrelated. Skully, I'm from Iowa. Why do we have to have the crazy cat lady laugh out loud?
I don't know. Do you have a crazy cat lady?
Everybody
has a crazy cat lady. I mean, that's kind of the thing.
You usually don't hear about her until they find her body half eaten by cats.
That's it. You know the crazy cat lady. Honestly, if I don't, never mind. I'm not gonna say it. But you know the crazy cat lady.
What were you gonna say? Who is it?
No, I wasn't. Nobody in particular.
We have one. If who you were talking about in episode 35 is who I think, fuck that guy. Cody Mays, I'm not sure. We're talking about the dude that was talking shit on the video about.
I want to say it's the Jaeger guy that tried to get a job with Jaeger and then tried to get a job.
I don't know why you would know him, but maybe you would. I don't know. Brian Fraser, Skully, think this is the current drill or some other training?
Oh, it's just training.
The LA thing's still going on.
The LA thing is just training. That's all it is. It's just training. It's just training.
Them feed.
and we've talked about it before, but we used to do it all. The Marine Corps used to do the same thing all the time, like all the time. We were running 4 courses. We were running 4 courses a year. Yeah, 4 courses a year to include the 31st MEU, and that means RNS sections were going out. We're going out and spending weeks in town. Snipers were going out and spending weeks in town. This is before we even interoperability. Basically, what they were doing is, well, I don't know if the Army does it the same way. The Marine Corps does is they train all these people in different areas. So the snipers and the recon element, they do RNS training. The Force Recon guys, they're doing all their CQB training. SEALs, same thing. The SEALs that are attached to those units are doing the same. They're doing CQB training. Some of the SEALs are doing RNS with the snipers. Then what they have what's called interoperability training, which is that's where all the elements get together on ship, and they do a full mission profile. They'll do a fucking something in town. They'll do a GoPlat, and then they do a VBSS.
Which is visit board search and
yeah, which is they'll take down a ship, they take down a GoPlat, and they take down a building in town.
GoPlat's gas.
And we were in the 90s. We were fucking doing those things constantly. That's all they were doing was interoperability, getting all the forces together, or getting all the guys together, and doing a full mission profile.
Them feed bag houses were cool.
Feed bag houses.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Feed bag, I don't either.
Another great podcast. Thanks for taking the time, guys. Any opinion on experience on a good generator for emergencies at home? That isn't a fuel hog. Basic single family home, 3-bedroom, nothing crazy. Second question, what rig would you recommend for shotgun and ammo during shit hit the fan scenarios? Thanks, fellas. So your generator, don't think 3. You're not going to do a whole house. You're going to use a generator. The first thing you can do, you can go beyond this, but the first thing to do is get a fucking small generator that is quiet, that will run your fucking refrigerator or chest freezer that you can toggle back and forth, and then run maybe a space heater, like a little room space heater or something like that. Use it to charge shit with. Unplug it, run your entertainment system. So, in the interim. But when you say 3-bedroom house, you're not going to power that. You're not getting a transfer switch and a big fucking generator where you can just live. In a situation where you have to have a generator, everything changes. Like, you're going to turn all your shit off. You're not going to use all that stuff. Like, you have such a load in your house right now, probably while you're at work and not home, that like you could fucking cut all of that down. You don't need that. So my preference is a good, Honda Whisper Light, a 1000. I have a 1000 and I've got a couple 2000s, and then we have some bigger generators. Off of the 1000, the small little tiny suitcase one, I ran a refrigerator, and I would run it for 4 or 5 hours at a time, and then I would unplug that, and I would run I ran a flat screen television, a whole surround sound system, all the fucking speakers, all that shit. And then I would just go back and forth. And I could still put a second extension cord in and charge, batteries and shit like that.
If you're gonna do a whole house generator,
that's a whole different animal than what we're talking about.
If you're gonna do a whole house generator, something for when like the tree takes out the power line and you just want to hang out and watch TV, or go think about looking at propane generator. Only reason why is because the amount of fuel that you burn using propane is less than if relative less than if you were going to have a diesel or a unleaded fuel. Plus, it's easier to fucking store. It's just all you have to have is that tank there, and it's just easier to store, and you can use that tank for all kinds of things. If you already are on natural gas, or if you're already on natural gas, that's kind of a way to go too. So just something to look at.
When we do a big generator here, when we do it with a grid switch and all that shit, it'll be natural gas. It'll be, in an attenuated building. It'll be, away from the building, in its own structure, double walled, the whole deal, on a slab. And you can buy, and then you're talking, bigger generators. You can buy those pretty cheap if you look on eBay and just start looking at that stuff for natural gas or propane, or diesel. They have them. They're really fucking. they cycle them out as soon as they have so many hours on them. They sell those things off from all your sell sites and shit. Just start looking at them, do a little bit of research, but really you just need to think. I know you have an idea of what you're going to do, but start with that small one. Get the small one first because you can transport it. You can use it out camping. If you have an emergency where you need to leave your house, you can take it with you. It'll do a lot of other shit. It's going to do 95% of the shit you want to do with the small one, and then get a bigger one. If I could only have one, I would get that smaller one because, I mean, that's what we have now. Everything we have done up to this point, most of the time when we fire one off, it's a 1000 EU Honda.
The good thing about a small generator is if you can move it.
You can also sell it if you need to.
Yeah, if you need to move it to go whatever, you can move it around, which makes that a lot easier to use for multiple things, not just power outages. I mean, if you want to power something out in the woods, you can now do it because you have that mobile generator.
And what a lot of people don't realize too, for $100, less than $100, for 50, $60, you have a generator sitting in your fucking driveway and it's your car, and you just plug an inverter into it, and it will it'll run most of your shit. You can take a 12-volt battery out of your car, take it inside, fucking alligator clamp your fucking inverter onto that, plug your entertainment system, and run for fucking hours just off of that. It's not not going to fucking power your refrigerator. It will in a pinch. But you want something a little more for the refrigerator. But I mean, how out of power are we talking?
Yeah.
We talking 2-3 days? We talking several days? That's really the, and for 99% of the people listening to this right now, most of you aren't ever going to be without power for more than a day. I mean, unless you're rural like we are. We were without power for almost 5 days a couple years ago. Even then, it was the Honda 1000 generator. I had a 2000 sitting there. I never did power it up. Hey John, any EDC? About your shotgun ammo. Take a look at our 12 gauge rig, and if you want a little bit more, and also the ability to run some M4 mags or AK mags, look at our cop rig. Those are your two. EDC belts fit through Dickies. Horton will tell you they're super tight. We see guys do it. Either way, you still have to take the belt buckle off. We tell dudes that no matter what pants. I'm sure somebody else will be along to answer soon. We don't wear Dickies. I don't wear fucking $10 pants. So, you know what pants loops they will fit through though? They'll fit through fucking Kohl's.
They will fit through Kohl's.
I know, guys. I know, dudes. Some of you guys have fucking uniform pants that are Dickies. We see guys say no. We see guys say yes. I would ask that on Facebook on one of our groups, or ask that on our Facebook page, and dudes will give you a definitive answer. They'll send you some photos. They'll post some photos saying yes, here they are, and it works, or no, there's no way possible. Why do they say coal is bad for the environment? It literally comes out of the ground. It doesn't come out of the ground on fire, though.
It can if you're in Pennsylvania and you live in that town where the whole thing is. It's just about what it releases. Coal is actually storing carbon. I know some scientists are going to be like, it's a bunch of other things, but it's just about the carcinogens that it's releasing in the air. So it technically is bad for the environment. If you want to know how bad, take a look at London in like 1950.
Shit, take
56. I think
any place we had fucking trains.
1956. They actually had a weather phenomenon. I think it was 56. It's sometime in the 50s. They had a weather phenomenon where the weather came in and it held everything over the city of London. And at that time, everything they heated their houses. Everything was with coal, and it crippled that city. It crippled the city until the weather changed and was able to blow all that stuff out. So it's a carcinogen. That's the problem with coal. But there's technologies out there to filter out those carcinogens, and most of the coal-fired plants that are here in the U.S. are using that. The problem is natural gas is so much cheaper, and that's why the coal-fired plants are actually dying.
They just unfitted ours. I enjoy listening to these on my way home from work. I recently bought an EDC belt, and I love it. I want to hear more war stories from Skully. That guy was representing Christianity wrong if you read John 3:16 and leave out John 3:17. You're picking which verse works for you. God doesn't hate anything. Most Christians should look up the definition of condemn and read John 3:17 and stop doing the things they do to make others feel bad. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones that make your day brighter and start. So let's start giving. I haven't heard that song since I was 10 years old. I never owned a copy of the album, but it was beat into my head because it was played so much.
We are the world. That is the song that they made.
Isn't that hands all across the United States?
Yeah, that's the song they made when they bought all that food that
Michael Jackson and all that.
I wonder what they did with the food. I bet they just threw it in the ocean because it rotted on the pier. So yeah, Michael Jackson, all them.
So what's the solution on our gun control, our country, our government?
What's the solution? I mean, if it was that easy, we would have already solved the problem. It's not that easy. The problem is you've let a lot of genies out of the bottle. You with Twitter and Facebook, you've given voice to people that have never had a voice. And some of you are going to go, well, that's a great thing. Well, not necessarily. There's a lot of people in this world that really shouldn't have a voice. And I know that there's somebody that's on the other side of the agenda that says the same thing about me, but it's about how you talk. If you cannot if you can't have a conversation with somebody, so I don't care who you are, you can be fucking the craziest leftist on the face of the planet. I'll sit down and have a conversation with you. If your answer to everything is fuck you, you're a racist, you don't deserve to be in the conversation. You don't deserve to have a seat at the table. If that's your go-to move is you're a racist, xenophobe, cisgender, whatever the fuck, you don't deserve a seat at the table. You just don't deserve it because you are not putting anything into the conversation. If you don't have something worthy to put into the conversation, then you really should just shut the fuck up and let the adults talk.
Follow Justin Wren, UFC fighter. He has had malaria 3 times from the pygmies. Mm-hmm. It's his passion, like brown bag guns, for some, laughingly. But Justin Wren is a real thing way past Joe Punk Rogan. Justin, I believe, does way better than Wounded Warriors to put money on their target mission. Are you giving money to this dude to go help the fucking pygmies? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying anything about Justin Wren. Justin Wren's a great guy, but you know what? When your mission statement is we've received enough money to dig 2 wells for the pygmies in the Congo, you're not taking in consideration how many fucking wells have been dug in the Congo for the pygmies.
The pygmies don't. You're in the fucking Congo. You don't need a goddamn well. It fucking rains every day.
I suggest you look and see what's going on in the Congo right now. I mean, I get it. I get it. He's got a passion, and I have no. You know what? If you want to go over to Africa and dig wells, you go ahead and dig wells. But you should go informed with the idea of knowing that we've been doing that for 100 years, and they're just shitting in those wells.
Whether you believe in it or not, and whether we know the government money fuck ups and fails regularly, but please research Justin, a great human being, before shitting on him. How have we shit on this?
Again, I think you may have taken it wrong. I'm not shitting on him. I'm shitting on the fact that people do things to make themselves feel good, even if it's not really doing anything. Okay? Even if it's not really doing anything. I guarantee you the pygmies in the Congo, 100%, are no different than the tribes in Saudi Arabia. They move around all the fucking time. They're not just sitting there in this one little spot looking at this place where he's digging. Like I said, passion is great. If he wants to go over there and do that, more power to him. Dig all the fucking wells you want. But there's a point where you have to realize that what you are doing is not really doing anything for anybody but yourself. So, like I said, I'm not trying to say anything about him. I was actually talking about the Cash App. It's the Cash App that is giving the money so he can go dig wells. And it's just funny when they've been talking about this for fucking ever. And Joe's like, we've dug 2 wells.
He says, before shitting on him, he saves the little people guy. Exactly like everything I've been told about James Jacobs. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, Brian Fraser. I didn't even, like, I remember saying pygmies. I don't give a fuck where a church is digging a well at. What I'm saying is, you have motherfuckers in your community that you're opting to help somebody on the other side of the world where you're never going to see what the fuck happens. It's not going to affect you. It's not going to affect your fucking family. It's not going to help your fucking kids in any way. You got motherfuckers literally within a mile of where you are that could use some fucking assistance or help. You want to feel good? Go plant some fucking trees. Go pick up some fucking trash. Go to a soup kitchen. You want to teach your kid fucking values? You want to teach your kids to appreciate what they have? Take them to a fucking soup kitchen. Help clean some fucking laundry. Help them feed some fucking homeless people. The point is, these churches are gathering up all this fucking money. The people giving the money don't see where that goes.
Like, I think he thinks we're just attacking this UFC fighter.
I've never even fucking heard of him until right now.
John's absolutely right. There's plenty of people right here in the United States that need that help. Why can't you go to Flint, Michigan and dig a well? There's people up there that haven't had fucking solid drinking water in years.
Great podcast. I think God does care. Does care. We are the ones who don't care. God is the one who loves you. I don't think life is always about doing right. It's about knowing Him. And just like hanging out with good people, that rubs off. Hanging out, knowing God will rub off on us, and we will do good, not because of us, but because of Him. Do you really? So you believe that to do good, you have to fucking be a Christian? You don't believe that anybody doing good other than... there's nobody doing good, you have to fucking be a Christian to do good. Because that's what you just said. Whether that's what you meant, that's what fucking a bunch of people just heard. You're better than them because you know God, and you're doing good because you know God, so they're not. Because, like, okay. What does Skully think of binary trigger shit? Regardless of the law and infringements, I think a gimmick and sell point to eliminate black guns. Black guns matter.
That's like the Fostech binary trigger. They're fun. I mean, it's fun. It really makes the bump stock obsolete.
Well, the bump stock is obsolete.
Well, I mean, it's not gonna be there. It's gonna get thrown out at the fucking Supreme Court level.
The company's gone.
Yeah, but you know how many people were making those things? Yeah, binary trigger it's a gimmick in the sense of if you practice good trigger control. So if you're trying to take up that slack, you're not going to be able to get that rhythm down. But you can make that thing rock and roll. You can make that rock and roll if you just slap the trigger like you're not supposed to do. It is a gimmick. It's just for fun. Eventually, will they ban it? I am sure they're going to go after those triggers once they realize that those triggers are out there. You don't need a fucking special trigger to go after black guns. They're already going after black guns. That's it. They're already going after black guns. They already know the guns they're going to ban. So I don't think that trigger is going to push anybody over the top. It's all the little bullshit like M4 carbine pistols. It's all that stuff that's really gonna go away real quick, because those are just opinion letters within the ATF. And I know people hate the ATF, but the last two guys who have been writing opinion letters for the ATF were very pro-gun, and it's only a matter of time before the left gets rid of those guys completely, and you have new people writing opinion letters. And once that happens, your fucking pistol brace is going to be illegal. They'll just, because it's an opinion letter, they'll just be like, nope, sorry, we changed our mind. You can't have this pistol brace anymore. So all those fucking pistols that you've been buying are going to be illegal. Well, at least with the pistol brace on it, you'll have to fucking go back to stuffing the buffer tube in your shoulder.
No, they're going to make you register them all as pistols.
Well, they're already registered as pistols.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they're already, when you buy it, you register it as a pistol.
Being how Skully likes Joe Rogan, what does he think about Tim Pool episode? I have become a Tim Pool fan because he doesn't realize he's more constitutional than he knows. He protects cops and guns and internet freedom. New law, I believe internet is stopping freedom of speech. It is real, same as availability of social media paid ads. John has spoken out on this before. Not able to boost or pay ads due to false gun affiliation. I don't even know who the fuck Tim Pool is.
He just had him on his podcast. I like Tim Pool. It's funny. It's funny when they always talk about. It's always said that when you're young, you're a Democrat. When you get older, you become a Republican. And Tim Pool was just talking on Joe Rogan's podcast about how the left is going so far to. They're going so far to the left, that they're making moderate Democrats become Republicans. I think the truth of the matter is as you get older, you understand how crazy the Democratic Party is in particular. You understand how crazy that their ideas are. All these ideas that are fucking flying around right now, they're not new. The Democratic Party is always... You think last election was the first time Bernie Sanders was talking about all that bullshit? Bernie Sanders has been talking about that his whole career. He has always been a communist. That's why you get a sweaty, no-shirt video of Bernie Sanders singing Soviet party songs. Because he's a fucking communist. He's always been that way. I think the issue is, as you get older, you understand that, and you become a Republican.
Do you think maybe...
I like Poole. I really do. Except, man, I tried to listen to his stuff today, and he just does 12-minute podcasts, and that is fucking nerve-wracking. By the time he's putting out good content. I wish he would just put content out that was longer.
Do you think maybe the whole as you get older you become Republicans because as you get older you've already blown all that fucking money and now you fucking have gotten wiser with your money, so as you get older you have more money. When you have more money and you have earned more money, you have a problem with giving it to motherfuckers that didn't earn it, which is what the Democrats want to do, so you kind of jump fucking side.
That's kind of what I think it is, and I think that's kind of why the Democrats have been pushing this this live in your parents' basement till you're 27 agenda, because that gives them more years to indoctrinate people into the ways of socialism. Socialism doesn't work, never has worked. When you point to Norway or anything like that, they're using the capitalist system for their socialist programs. And a lot of those countries are having serious problems right now that the Dems just don't want to talk about. It's like you can't bring up Venezuela because somehow that is our fault that their system collapsed. Even though the reality is socialism never works. It's like right now when fucking Ocasio was talking about 70% tax. Do you honestly think that when she gets her first paycheck, or when she gets her paycheck, that she is going to be like, that's a great idea, I'm going to pay into it? Those motherfuckers will all be exempt. You think Bernie Sanders is going to give up his fucking 3 houses so we can all live equally? Bullshit. That's not how socialism works. They're going to select who rises to the top. It won't be about merit. It won't be about the fucking best being the best. It'll be who they select. Who's going to dance for the premier the most. And that's kind of what's going on in the left party right now. They will eat their fucking, and that's the thing why I can't understand how anybody is even a Democrat. They will eat their fucking own just to impress nobody. They will eat their own to impress nobody. It's crazy.
When you have no fucking money, it sounds great that they're going to take somebody else's and give it to you. But as you get older and you have some money, fucking, that's a terrible idea.
It's a terrible idea.
I worked and fucking made this. I fucking gained this by fucking 30 years of work. Why the fuck should I take any of it and give it to somebody I don't choose to give it to? Just like taxes. Imagine if you got to fucking funnel your tax. You still had to pay taxes, but we get to choose where the taxes go. Imagine all the fucking offices that would be closed down. You'd still have roads. You'd still have fucking runways. You'd still have fucking fire departments.
We had all that. By the way, we had all that stuff prior
Before.
to the Internal Revenue Service. We had fire departments. We had roads. We had all that stuff.
Skully,
Schools.
I think you were talking about Palos Verdes and Marineland for that training site in SoCal.
Yeah, that's
very
it.
near
That was
Trump's
it.
Golf Course.
It was Palos Verdes and
Anything,
Marineland.
anything vegetarian is terrible MRE meals.
Anything vegetarian, period, is terrible unless it's got lots of dressing on
I
it.
love vegetarian dishes. Love it. Take as soon as you take and add some fucking chicken or steak to it.
Yeah.
Like Rob Bailey, he's fucking all vegetarian. His meals look amazing. So just take that, and I'll go eat with Rob. I'm just gonna need a couple chicken breasts with it. We'll be fine. Shit, even his chick's not. Even his woman eats meat. She's eating the same shit. Just putting a grilled chicken breast or some salmon on it. You guys killing it, yeah. I don't get this recent abundance of Bible nonsense with commenters. Pygmy got no use for no Jesus. I can tell you what it is, because somehow we're getting ranked, and we're getting out there with the prepper guys, and a lot of prepper groups are not just dudes doing shit. Many of them live very, very minimally, and that's their thing. Jesus will take care of a lot, and they believe it. Whatever you want to believe in, whatever fucking gets you to from A to Z, in as peaceful and happy manner as possible. More power to you. But you won't see a bunch of people that aren't super churchy trying to convert churchies to be not churchy. But you'll see it the opposite direction. They're always trying to save you, but they can't just fucking come on board and go, okay, we have this in common. Let's just fucking move and educate and help, and let's just do right. It can't ever be that. It always has to be in the name of the church. Society collapses around here. I fucking promise you, all these churches want all of us involved in what they're doing. They're going to need fucking everything and all the fucking skills that we can provide. When their kids start getting hungry, it's not going to be Jesus that's fucking feeding them there. When their fucking kids are starving, they're going to be looking around and fucking trying to recruit and asking for help.
I mean, whatever it is you need to go out and do good works. Whatever it is, if you're gonna go out and do good works, I don't care.
Under what guise?
Whatever it is, you want to pray to the spaghetti monster in the sky. If you're gonna go out and do good works, go ahead. You just have to understand that, the Lord, our Father, has been used to kill millions and millions of people. Everybody thinks that their God is the God and that somehow they are right. And, right now the Muslims are using it with their jihad. They think they're doing right by their God. And you can say what you want about, they're wrong and we're right. Nobody knows the truth. Just go out and do good works. I mean, the reality is, this is the way I look at it. And you may differ. But the reality is, if you're going out and you're doing good works, if you're doing good things for people, and you try and live a good life, if you're going to be exiled, if there is a God and you're going to be exiled in the afterlife because you didn't go to communion or you didn't honor the Last Supper or whatever it is, if that is it, if the Buddhist who is up on the mountain praying every single day and has been living an impoverished life and just worshiping his God, if he is not going to be in the kingdom of heaven because he didn't do some certain ritual that is necessary to get there, that's not a place I want to be anyways. That's a special club, and I don't believe that a deity that could create all this would be concerned with special clubs. I think the only thing he'd be concerned about is how you lived your life.
You guys are killing it. Yeah. I don't get this reason. Oh, we did that one.
Yeah.
Killer Podcast. Skully, keep up the war stories. Keep them up. You guys are insane, entertaining, educating motherfuckers. Doctor's appointment today. Perfect numbers. The SOE podcast thumping in my ears during my hikes and workouts help very much. Right on, John G2. Delta Charlie says, Skully, field artillery, king of battle. Do you feel they still have a place on the battlefield?
Artillery? Of course. If artillery is the king of the battlefield. Of course they have a place on the battlefield. I mean, there's nothing better than calling in artillery. I don't even know why you would think that.
Well, aircraft would replace.
No, man. Here's the thing. You know what? Since the dawn of the airplane, I'm sorry, my aviator friends out there. Since the dawn of the airplane, they have always said, "Oh, we'll never need to send the infantry in anymore because the planes are going to dominate." Every country has said that their air force is going to rule the world, and we won't ever need any of this other bullshit. And you know what? Every single time there's been a little dude with a helmet and a rifle that's had to go fucking stand on that street corner, and the battle is never over. Right? It's never over just because the Air Force flew over. We dropped more bombs on Vietnam. We dropped more bombs from B-52s on North Vietnam than all the munitions in World War II combined. We still didn't win. Yes, artillery. You guys are definitely a great support for the infantry. Same thing with the air crews. Great support for the infantry. But you win or lose battles solely based off on the guys wearing the boots. That's it.
I want to see Skully's 308. Any chance of bringing it on the podcast? I'm not looking for a tabletop, just a very basic overview of it. I've got a 308 varmint. Then you don't need to see it. It's just
there's the question. Which one do you want to see? Right?
Just look up M40A1.
Which one do you want to see? The A1, the A2, the A6? Which one? I don't know. Which one do you want to see? I got a FN police sniper rifle. The FN.
Don't you have an AI?
No, I do not. I don't have an AI because.
What happened to all those fucking AIs?
Well, the one went to Sperling.
There was like a bunch of them.
No. The one went to Sperling. I don't have an AI because fucking AI. Accuracy International USA got on this stupid bandwagon with bench rush shooters about heavy barrels. The L96 sniper rifle. The L96 sniper rifle, godsend. I mean that rifle, as far as a combat sniper rifle, way better than what we were carrying. I know, I've got an M40. I love it to death. America is right. Fuck the British. But after having an opportunity to shoot an L96, it leaves our stuff in the dust. But they fucked up when they came to the United States. They started listening to all these yahoos here in the United States thinking heavy barrel. So they started changing out their rifle systems for a heavy barrel instead of the barrel that they were using on the original L96. So you can't get a green barrel. You can't get a green barrel L96 in the United States. It's impossible. And that is the best rifle. It's just that Arctic Warfare rifle. The Arctic Warfare rifle is the best rifle by far for military purposes. For military purposes. There are better rifles. There are better rifles on the civilian market. You know, all my guys running around saying 6.5 this, 6.5 that. There are better rifles, but as far as a military rifle, man, that L96 is the shit. We got one at SOTG. And with the Leica laser rangefinder, it almost was no fun to shoot. You literally we would go on the range, you'd pick something out, you'd hit it with the laser rangefinder, put it on the scope, boom, hit it. Boom, hit it. Every fucking time. I went to Gunsight, the first time I saw one. First I was going to the advanced sniper course, and I had this Royal Marine Commando with me, Corporal Payne. And, you know, the Royal Marines is a little bit different than ours. He was probably 34 years old. I couldn't have been, I had to be in my 20s. And we're shooting on the range. And the whole time, he's cussing the M40. He's just cussing it. Piece of shit. And I'm like, I'm going to fight this dude. Because it's like, the fuck you got, an infield? You don't have shit over there. And he goes, we've got the L96 and it is way better than this. I'm like, you're full of shit. There's no fucking way you have anything that's better than this. It's just not possible. And then he showed me a brochure, you know, because they didn't have one here, so he showed me a brochure of it, and I'm like,
He just carries a brochure.
Yeah.
Like pictures of his woman.
Fucking whatever. That's a piece of shit. Look at it. That can't be good. It looked really good.
Too fancy.
Yeah, it looked really good. So,
especially that barrel they have on that.
A couple years later, I go to Gunsight, and Gunsight was the first person to import the Arctic Warfare rifle, which is a little more modern version of an L96. Gunsight's the first one to do it, and Colonel Powers is like, "Hey, they got those rifles here," and I'm like, "Whatever, those things, whatever. They're not that good." And one of the guys is like, "Hey, you want to see one?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'd love to shoot that rifle."
Do you have change in your pocket?
I do. I have change in my pocket.
Why?
Because I have change in my pocket. Why don't you have change in your pocket? Because
Well,
you don't go anywhere.
Fucking use change.
Because you don't go anywhere.
I don't use change.
You don't go anywhere. I went to two places.
When they give me change, it goes right in a little fucking...
I went to 2 places.
It goes right in a little baggie into a door.
Oh, I have
never
a tub.
carry change.
I have a tub. That's why it's in my pocket, because I have a tub at the house. So we go to their little shack where they're putting the rifles together, and I walk in the door, and he goes, boop, barrel wrench. Just put the barrel on this rifle, and he's like, "Hey, they want to shoot one of your rifles." He goes, "I just put the barrel on this. Let's just throw it." He goes like, "What scope do you want, Leopold or Schmidt and Bender?" I'm like, "I don't know shit about the Schmidt and Bender. Put the Leopold on there." So he puts the Leopold on there. I'm thinking, there's no fucking way this thing is going to work. He just put the barrel on it. There's no way. He just put the barrel on it and he just slapped the scope on top. There's no way this thing's going to be fucking on point. No bore sight, nothing. So we go to the range. They have a 200-yard target and a 400-yard target. They're 3 inches, which is not, that's not too great, but they're 3-inch steel plates. 2 rounds. Took 2 rounds to get the scope on target. 300, 400, no problem. Colonel Powers is like, "Oh my God, that's the greatest thing. I can't believe you're..." And I'm like, I get up and I'm like, all right, it was pretty cool. Because it's a motherfucker to zero the Unerdal scope. It's a pain in the ass. All my Marine friends that ever had to fuck with the Unerdal will understand what I'm talking about. I'm like...
Even the new one?
No, not that, because they're not using Unerdals anymore. I'm like...
But I mean even the more modern one. Not the Carlos Hathcock fucking Unerdal, right?
Yeah, the Carlos Hathcock. We went from the Unerdal to the Schmidt and Benders. So the Unerdal that you saw,
yeah,
that was the only Unerdal we ever had.
I thought it was a modern version of
it. No, we went. They sent them back to U.S. Optics. U.S. Optics fucked them. I don't want to say they fucked them up. They fucked them up from purely a collector's perspective. They drilled a hole in the bottom of them to fix them. But we went to Schmidt and Benders after the Unerdals.
So was the U.S. Optics one a better version?
No, okay. They actually just reversed engineered it. Made the same exact scope. Okay. So I get up. Colonel Powers is all excited. I'm like, "Yeah, it's fucking 400 yards, sir. I mean, we can do that with the M16. That's not that great." Well, he's like, "Oh, you want to shoot it further?" So the next day they put 2 long range targets out. We went to this far side of the damn place and they put a target out. Now remember, I have not zeroed this rifle. The only thing I've done is fucking use clicks to get it on target. So we go out, there's a target at 1100, and then there was a target at 950. I think it was 950. 1100, 950. 3 rounds on the 1100 yard target, and then none for the 950. And once I had the dope, man, every time, ding, ding, ding. You couldn't make that rifle miss. And I'm not a great shot. I'm not out there doing PRS or anything like that. I'm not a steely eye killer when it comes to the sniper rifle. I'm gonna kill you and beat you because I'm better than you, but as far as paper targets, that's not my thing. Just fucking phenomenal rifle. And I was gonna get one, but at that time, those fucking rifles, which is not that much now when you think about the crazy ass price that people are paying for sniper rifles. But I want to say Gunsight was selling for $5,000. And that was the 90s. $5,000 was a lot of money. I mean, it's still a lot of money. But, you got Remington selling fucking rifles now that are $21,000. Ridiculous.
How many rounds is the mag?
So we still use. As a matter of fact, the Marine Corps uses AI mags in the A6 chassis, 10-round magazines.
Would you rather have a
Box?
double?
Would I rather have what?
Like a M14 mag?
No, you don't. I mean, all it does is, once you start creating that distance, the further you're going to have to be up on your bipod for certain things. So, not really. But yeah, that is that L96 was, well. Anyways, then fucking Accuracy International USA started making their versions of it, and they started using heavy barrels with no fucking not the contoured barrel, and it just. After that, I was like, fuck, I'm not going to buy it. I'm still trying to get my buddy who bought the original one that we had at SOTG. I'm trying to get him to sell me his, but it's a fucking total collector's piece now. I think it'd be fucking $20,000.
Hey guys, love the podcast. Makes the drive to work to and from better. Can you guys speak about a couple things? Creating a prep for the grid power being down for, say, 30 days. What do you guys keep in your vehicles to get home if the worst happens? And on a side note, every time I get a piece of gear of yours through a trade, and I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it, I find a use for it. I'm terrible about having, we have all the shit, it's just never where it needs to be when we need it. I have bags for all the trucks, we have fucking Viair compressors for all the trucks, cables for all the trucks, bags of fucking recovery gear for all the trucks. It's never, when we think we're going to do something, we always have the shit with us. But I was in Knoxville all weekend in the Toyota, and I didn't have any gear other than what came with the Toyota. So had something happened, I wouldn't have had any of that shit with us.
I say it's really I kind of don't understand the question as far as what's in the vehicle. You want to have stuff in the vehicle, but the more important thing is fuel. Do you have enough fuel to get out of town or to move past whatever it is? I had a couple weeks ago, we had total power out at my place, but just 10 miles, not even 10 miles. I think it's it can't, as the crow flies, maybe it's 10 miles. Just 10 miles into town, into Waverly, the power was all on. So I say the best thing to have is, make sure you have enough fuel to get away. My thing is you should have enough fuel to go twice the distance of your vehicle. So if you've got a 15-gallon tank, you need to have 15 gallons of fuel, even if it's just at your house. 15 gallons of fuel at your house, so you can top that motherfucker off, and if you have to, you can go. The only thing I keep in my truck, because
you have a lot of shit in here, so
the temperature here is weird. So I don't keep any water or food in my truck, but I have enough to fight from my truck, and I have a bag, and it's in there year round. I don't take it out in the wintertime because I have the space behind I have the, what is it called, the king cab?
Mega cab.
Mega cab. I have the mega cab, so I have the space behind those seats. I have a winter kit that has, a full puffy suit, glove, hat, everything inside that bag, just because, sometimes it gets cold as shit around here, and John will be like, hey, it's freezing outside. That means we can move wood chips at the top of the hill. Grab the tractor. So I've got the full puffy kit and all that stuff just for that, for the exposure portion here in Tennessee in the wintertime.
We live kind of rural, so if you walk out and got in any of those fucking trucks out there, there's always just the normal day shit we have with us. We wouldn't even call it an emergency kit. There's just always shit in the fucking trucks. Always.
Yeah, especially John's trucks. You can always find some food in there, some beef jerky or a
power
bar from 1983, but there's something in there.
Yeah, if we fucking...
Do they even make power bars anymore? Can you get a power bar?
They're fucking like candy bars now. It's not like your grandpa's fucking.
It's not
power
like the
bar.
Taffy.
They still make those. They still make them, but now they've got all kinds of good shit on them, like chocolate. And then as far as you'd said, power out for 30 days. That really changes when you go from 72 hours to 2 weeks. That's a big difference. And then when you go from 2 weeks to fucking 30 days, that's a huge difference because you're talking a lot of different shit. When your power's out like that, Like you might have natural gas heat in your house, for instance. What you don't have is none of your fucking heat sets. They're all computer controlled. So without power, those motherfuckers aren't running.
Yeah, even the ignition.
Yeah,
even the ignition, you'd have to self-ignite those bitches.
like if you look in the snake trailer, those wall tanks, those that run on natural gas, they don't require any electricity whatsoever. So if you want to be redundant like that, have a plan. We have a lot of kerosene. We have a lot of kerosene on site. We have a lot of kerosene heaters. I've got probably 10 brand new fucking kerosene heaters in the box. When the wicks go bad on a kerosene heater, personally, I don't fuck with it. I've replaced them before, but they always kind of smoke, and they always have a heavy kerosene smell. I think that I just don't have the little tweak to fucking make that thing work. Would it work in the garage? No problem. You'd smell kerosene. Would I use it in the living room? I wouldn't, because you'd smell kerosene. So kerosene heaters, they always go on sale for $100. I always have a few of them brand new in the boxes. Just like employees, power outage, shit like that. I can send them home with an employee if I need to. I can give them to a friend if I need to. I can give them to a neighbor if I need to. I've got it same with buddy heaters. I think the buddy heater, if you're only going to have one, the fucking cleanest, safest is those, and I buy the big buddies. They take 2 propane tanks. You can run them off 1. You can run them off 2. You can run 1 burner. You can run both burners. They have an O2 cutout. You can put D batteries in it and push with the fan that's built into it. Great product. I've probably got 12 of those fucking brand new in boxes.
And they've got an adapter, so you can run that off a big bulk
fuel.
Yeah,
but when you do that, you need to have the filter, because the bulk filter going into that is fucking super dirty with the bulk fuel. And then you can run your barbecue tanks and stuff. Now, don't buy those parts and just think you're going to fucking hook those up and they're going to work, because depending which one you get, you also need a regulator to change the pressure coming out. But think in threes, man. 3 of everything. 3 means of water. So have water in a can. Have a means to filter water. Heat, 3 ways to heat. Blankets, propane, kerosene. 3 methods of light. Preferably not candles. You can definitely use a candle, but you're much safer having LED fucking bulbs. Have a headlamp. Have a portable, and then the lanterns. Just have 3 of everything. Start looking around. When the power goes out, what's the first thing you need? Well, if it's dark, you need fucking light. So have your light sources. I like the Coleman light pucks. Several people make them now. Any place there's a light switch, fucking have one of those hockey pucks there. They Velcro on. You can take them on and off. Some of them have magnets, so you can pull them off the refrigerator, turn that thing on. Now you can get to your flashlight, your headlamp, whatever you need, and then just start going from there.
Chem lights last forever.
Chem lights, yeah.
Forever.
We have chem lights that were old in San Diego that we moved here with, and we just fucking cracked some chem lights a couple months ago that were probably 10 years out of fucking expiration date. Yeah. And now they've got, at all the truck stops, you can get the battery powered. They look like a chem light, but they got a flashlight, a blinking strobe light, a whistle. I keep those in all the fucking visors in the cars, because I'm not 100% sure on this, but I believe that the temperature fluctuations in vehicles fuck up the chem lights. I believe that fucking, because I've pulled them out of the fucking headliner, out of the visor covers many times, and them not work. So I believe it's a temperature thing that's frying them.
Could be. Or it could be Cody's
and sealing them back in the things.
Yeah, okay.
After the Venezuelan Supreme Court declared a state of humanitarian crisis, the Brazilian president declared this afternoon that he's going to join forces with Colombia, Canada, and other. None of those guys even have militaries. To deliver essential supplies to the starving Venezuelan people. Is there any chance for the U.S. to help as well? Or President Trump has no intention of risking more American lives in Latin American countries? That communist thug Maduro had it coming either way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Certainly you want to feel good. You want to feel good and go, man, we really should help those people.
I'd help those people before I'd help pygmies.
We really want to help those people. But then again, they made those choices. He's not the crazy dictator that they didn't elect. They made those choices. And so they need to get themselves out of it. You know, it's high time that everybody stop worrying about everybody else and start worrying about themselves. They need to get out. They need to fucking handle that shit themselves. There's no reason why we should be sending troops and bullshit down there to fucking help them when they're the ones that put themselves in that situation. If they wanted to overthrow that government, you know, 600,000 people in the street, that's a good way to start. I get it. They don't have guns, but you know the Russian motto: first guy gets the gun, the other guy gets the ammo. I don't think we should. I don't think we should get involved because it'll just end up being a fucking mess that we'll end up spending a bunch of money on that we can't afford to spend anymore. We've been giving way too much money away to all these fucking countries that don't want to help themselves. Maduro's the one that fucking blocked the roads down into. He blocked the freeway down into Venezuela anyways. So how are they going to provide this aid? Are they going to bring it in by ship? The military controls the harbor. The Canadians certainly aren't going to fucking send troops in there. Who are they going to send? They don't even have an airborne unit anymore.
They're just going to fucking kick that shit out of C-130s.
Yeah, Colombia, right? Colombia's going to send them cocaine. That's all they're going to send them.
It's not America's job to intervene in other nations' bullshit. Even the founding fathers said that. Our country would be a lot better off if we took care of our own people for once.
I mean, there's a world...
Take care of the shit you can touch first. Yeah. Like fucking spread your arms out and fucking spin around in a circle and see what you can physically see. Take care of that shit first. Worry about your fucking household. Worry about your fucking next door neighbors. Worry about the people at the end of your street. Do some shit that you can see the fucking benefits from. Like for real. Like every fucking day we got people asking us to donate to some shit. I'm going to spend my money where I fucking see it work. I'm going to spend my money with people who have spent money with me. I'm going to spend my money with fucking people that I know where the money's going. I'm going to spend the money with people I fucking know. I'm not going to write a check and send it to somebody that I've never fucking met. I mean, there's exceptions to that, but it's very fucking few.
I mean, you think about it. If Americans spent more time, if Americans spent just a little bit more time worrying about Americans and less about the rest of the world, all the little bullshit microaggression bullshit problems that everybody's fucking jumping up and down about would be gone quickly. I mean, think about this. Bill Gates is more worried about toilets in Africa than he is about the water in Flint, Michigan. He's spending millions and millions of dollars to give people toilets that are not going to use them instead of just fixing the water in Flint, Michigan, doing something for Americans. The better our country is, the more prosperous we are, the more prosperous the world is. That is just how it works. The only reason why all those other countries, Germany, Japan, France, all those countries were even prosperous at the end of the war was because of us. Because we were prosperous. The more prosperous America is, and the better Americans are, the better the entire world is. That's a fucking fact.
Venezuela is not my concern. You may write a check or go fight if you want. That's none of my business, but the U.S. has no business whatsoever there. I agree.
Yeah, no business.
Spend your money where you want to fucking spend it.
The reality is we don't have any business in fucking Iraq, Afghanistan. You know, truth be told, this is how things should really work. How things should really work is we decide that the United States of America decides that Afghanistan is evil. That somehow Afghanistan is evil because of the Taliban or whatever, because they blew up the World Trade Center. I know they didn't do that. But whatever it is, if once Congress and the President of the United States, and I just said Congress.
You just said that the Taliban didn't blow up the...
Well, not the Taliban in Afghanistan really didn't do it. The fucking Saudis did it.
Oh.
They were all Saudis. They all came from Saudi Arabia. That's a known fact.
Okay. A little bit there, a little bit.
No, that's always been known that they were Saudis.
So Bin Laden didn't blow up the World.
Bin Laden is a Saudi.
I got you.
He's a fucking.
I got you.
He's
so
a crown prince.
So what were we doing
Saudi,
in Iraq and
in the Saudi Empire? We weren't trying
another
to
podcast.
Another podcast. Anyways, so how it really should work and how it was intended to work was The Congress should have to vote on it and do a declaration of war. Once they do a declaration of war, there's no pussyfooting around. There's no rules of engagement. There's no nothing. Until the war is over. We send everybody there. We kill everyone. We kill everyone. I don't care. Everyone. Until one of those motherfucker goes, I don't have enough. I'm done. That's it. You guys win. Whatever you want to do, you can do. You want to fucking mine all the shit out of this mountain, you can have it. We're done. Whatever.
And we should probably start with the dudes that have the problem. Bomb those fucking palaces or those White Houses or whatever. Not the fucking common folk down in the valley. Bomb the fucking castle.
I'm just saying, total war. We go to total war. And I'm telling you, all we have to do that is once. We do it once, and then we won't have to do it again for another 50 years. Now, there's always going to be some country that thinks they can fucking poke the bear. But if you show the world that poking the bear gets your fucking head squashed, people won't do it. The reason why we never fought the Russians or the Germans again or any of that after World War II is because we dropped a nuclear bomb. Because everyone was scared that we would do it again. They were like, oh shit, those crazy motherfuckers won the war and yet they still dropped 2 nuclear bombs.
They wanted to see what it would do.
It took bin Laden to poke the tiger enough times for everybody to go, oh man, maybe they are just fucking a paper tiger. We should never intervene in any of these fucking countries unless Congress declares war. And those fucking pussies have not done that since World War II. Not a single troop, not a fucking advisor, nothing should be overseas without Congress putting some skin in the fucking game. Those cowards have not done that since World War II.
We already give aid to too many countries.
Yeah, way too much.
You and Skully are part of my day now. Not only have I learned a lot, but I have also gained an extreme amount of respect for both of you. Thank you for the videos. Chris, man, this is just a seed, man. Fucking nurture it, fucking water it, let it grow. Fucking whatever piece it is that you latch onto. And don't take what we're telling you, man. Fucking unless there's some proof of it. Like, go look for yourself. Don't take just because our opinion or our thoughts and any advice we give you. Like, if I haven't put up photos of it or you haven't seen some fucking pictures or video of us doing it, don't fucking believe it, man. That's what I'm telling you guys. Like,
then I gotta bring in the pictures of the fro and the motorcycle and the goddamn. I gotta bring in that.
If you're basing your life on something, like if something that you're gonna risk your life on, like us, generator information, for instance, I have videos of all that shit. We have fucking. I've written articles on that shit. I fucking put stuff up in forums for fucking over a decade worth of fucking prep shit. Like, if it's not out there, like, you have so many people telling you they're doing shit. If they're not putting photos up, just assume what they're telling you is a fucking lie. Like, in the world we're in right now, with the way things move with fucking smartphones, you see the photos we put up. If somebody tells you they're doing something and you don't see photographic evidence of it, just assume they're full of shit unless they've given you a reason to truly, trust them. Because, like, this shit, especially the prep shit, your life might depend on that shit one day, especially if we're talking power off for 30 days. If the power goes off for 30 days, we all know people that are going to die in that time period. Like, think about it. Fucking just your meds. How many people go to go get their meds fucking every couple weeks or once a week, or your fucking oxygen machine or whatever the fuck it is? If the power goes out, we all know fat people that are going to die. We all know elderly people that are going to die. We all know motherfuckers that are just barely getting by that are just they're gonna fucking die. And then if the power's out for 30 days and your grocery store doesn't have your fucking cigarettes and your fucking Twinkies, we all know people that are gonna kill themselves over that. I say good riddance to them. Like, for real. If they're gonna kill themselves over not being able to get fucking whatever it is.
The Twinkies will still be there, though. They're good. They don't need light.
We would raid them all. We'd make them come to us for Twinkies.
For Twinkies?
They're gonna have to bring us. We're gonna trade them firewood.
Firewood for Twinkies?
Or
probably a good
wood
trade.
chips.
Wood chips.
Mulch.
Just bring us wood chips.
I'll have all your vices, and I will trade you for, I don't know, shit that's hard to make, like wood chips. Water. I'm gonna need water. And don't bring me a tanker of water. I want 5-gallon buckets of water. So you need cigarettes, booze, whatever it is. We'll have it.
Yeah.
We'll have it.
Little shack down on the road selling
Yeah, fish sticks.
Fish sticks.
Single cigarettes and fish
Fish
sticks. And single chicken nuggets. I am a firm believer in Jesus Christ. I don't see how life and everything in this life is possible. But I totally agree with you, John, on the point of why they go to other countries. It's bullshit.
I mean, yeah.
That none of that was an attack on the fucking church.
Yeah.
It's about your churches rallying up their families, and most of that money, like I remember it being drilled into us in Bible school and Sunday school and any of the kids programs. Fucking bring your money in. We're gonna fucking make these wells. We're gonna go on these missions. Whatever. Can't you find a motherfucker within an hour of you that fuck you go do that shit here? Like go do that shit here. Take the fucking kids that you're fucking make and conning the money out of, con whatever you want to call it, and take those fucking kids out and show them some fucking homeless people and show them fucking put them out there on the street and feed them those fucking meals and give them those fucking old clothes. Maybe that'll stick with that kid that I should work a little fucking harder and I don't want to be in that position. Fucking expose your kids to that shit rather than just get them to fucking fundraise for you. We gotta get you on my. We gotta get you one of my metal old Betsy flags. Nick, yes you do. We will.
What's old Betsy?
He's a welder. He makes these
gotcha.
fucking beautiful fucking metal flags.
Metal flags.
They're fucking pretty cool. The weapon collection. The container ship full of food rotting in ports after disaster happened in Puerto Rico because that dumbass mayor or governor or whatever she is did the same crap. Keep in mind, Puerto Rico's part of your United States, buddy.
Yeah, I mean the corruption and waste, fraud, and abuse within our own government is ridiculous. There was a airstrip in Puerto Rico, part of all that aid that we sent down there. There was an airstrip from one end to the other of this airstrip.
Full of water.
Water. Then there's people on the island that did not have potable drinking water, and all this water was there. And they said, you know what, it just didn't taste right. Some people you can't help.
Who said that? The people without the water?
No.
I'm guessing not.
I guarantee you it was the government because...
Keep in mind, did we fly all that water in there?
They were doing everything they could. They were doing everything they could to try and make Trump look bad, even though the response that they got was the necessary FEMA response. I mean, shit. Even Hillary Clinton was down there stealing.
We got some friends that went down there to get the power back on. Frank, and his boys. There's a bunch of dudes, but we know a couple dudes that actually went, and fucking good on you guys, man. You went and got the power back on, but that's just always how it is. No matter how much money you put down there. Like, why does anybody give money to the Red Cross at this point? Why does anybody give money to the Wounded Warriors at this point when you have so many other foundations out there? How are those two big fucking monsters still even in existence when it's fucking said over and over and over and over and over and over and over, like a million fucking times, that 10% of that money, not even 10%.
I don't even think 10% for the Red Cross. I think it's less than that.
So...
I think it's less than a dime goes to...
Why do you do that? Because you fucking feel good about it. Because you can tell your kids, and then they can go tell their Sunday teacher or whoever the fuck they're telling. It's all for show. Like, you know that money doesn't go where you're fucking... So why do you send it there? Why does that continue to happen?
Maybe people don't know.
I don't believe that.
Maybe people don't know. I know it just because, like I was telling John the other day, the military used to have a... I can't remember what they called it, but every year, combined federal something. Anyways, every year you would have to donate money to a charitable organization in the United States. They were forcing everybody to do that, and it was like $10.
Everybody in the military.
$10 you had to give. Well, part of that in the law, they said, here, we're going to give you a list of recognized charities in the United States. So it had to be a federally recognized charity. And in that, right next to each one of those charities, it would say how much money the charity uses for administrative costs, and how much money is donated. And you would be amazed at how little of your donations are actually going to whatever, buying water for Puerto Rico or feeding the homeless in Hurricane Katrina, whatever. How little your money was in certain organizations. You can find that information online now, I think. And there's a core group of organizations that are really just stealing from you. They're stealing from you because they're claiming all this fucking overhead. It's kind of like the NRA. The NRA is a bloated organization that is paying LaPierre way too much money for doing nothing. Nothing. I mean, same thing. They're doing very little with the money that you're donating except paying their fucking expenditures and allowing fucking a core group of people to run around and live lifestyles of the rich and shameless because you're afraid that the government's going to take your guns. And that's kind of the gist of those organizations. The Red Cross is one of them. The Red Cross gives very little money to actually solving problems.
They have lots of big buildings.
They have lots of big buildings, and they have lots of overhead that they have to pay, and they have a lot of six-figure salary individuals. It's the same thing with the Wounded Warrior. Wounded Warrior has and I know that there's going to be two of you out there that are going to be like, man, Wounded Warrior sent me a fucking wheelchair. Yet they still have six-figure salary board members. And I used to do the parade in Las Vegas every year. I'd go there and help Billy Stojak, who was the unofficial mayor of the Las Vegas Veterans Day Parade. I wasn't doing it for anything other than just to help Billy Stojak. I know this is probably blasphemy. I could care less about the Veterans Day Parade. I was there to help Billy Stojak because he asked me to help him. The shenanigans and the utter disregard for veterans that the Wounded Warrior program had just to get people to the fucking venue. Like Las Vegas is awesome for veteran support. I mean, they were comping hotel rooms. Las Vegas was doing all kinds of crazy shit. And basically all Wounded Warrior had to do was get these people here. And I'm talking about, real Wounded Warriors, dudes missing their fucking legs. That's all they had to do. They didn't really have to do anything. And all they cared about was making sure that their names were spelled right. All they cared about was making sure that, the Wounded Warrior Foundation was spelled right on the banner. They didn't give a shit about getting any of those guys out there. Every fucking time it was a hassle. So much so that Billy finally was like, fuck Wounded Warrior. I am going to get with the hotels and get my own fund set up so I can get 10 fucking veterans in the parade every year. And that's what he did. So, you really have to look at the organizations that you're giving money to and ensure that they're actually doing something with it besides padding their own pocketbook. It's like that fucking preacher in Texas. I can't think of his name. The multi-billionaire that lives on a fucking 5 million square ranch with all his Cadillacs. Why would you... I get it. You're scared that God's not going to love you because you didn't write a check to this asshole. But man, I don't understand why people give him a fucking dime.
That's the easy way out. Like,
he's a crook.
You want to feel good about yourself? Why don't you go to one of these dudes' fucking houses and mow their fucking lawn and clean their fucking gutters for them? Why don't you go fucking knock on their door and fucking sit and talk to them for fucking an hour? Like, that's just it. You want to feel good about yourself. You think you're buying your way into heaven or whatever it is with that fucking little donation. Like, go do some shit. Go do something real somewhere. There's somewhere you have to fucking come in contact with somebody that actually could use some fucking help.
Could use some help.
Or just be nice to somebody. Like, fucking, you could totally change somebody's fucking day just with a fucking smile or opening the fucking door for them. Stand and talk to somebody for a minute somewhere.
Make sure if you're smiling, you're not wearing a Trump hat.
We'll close on this. What is the difference between a garbanzo bean and a chickpea?
Okay. The big difference is the garbanzo bean tastes like shit. And chickpea tastes Not like shit, but almost like shit. I have no
They're
idea.
the same bean.
I have no idea what
They're
the
the
difference
same
is.
bean. One's on a salad bar. One gets made into hummus, I believe.
No idea.
Here's the difference. I've never paid $300 for a garbanzo bean.
You
For a garbanzo to bean on me.
for a garbanzo to be chickpea. Yeah.
Garbanzo bean. It's the same thing. Get
Yeah,
it?
you guys are funny.
Ha ha ha.
Love it.
All right.
And if don't,
You know what we forgot to do?
you know what? I will say this: stop. If you are taking if what I or John is saying to you is going, it's like right here, like when everybody was taking offense about the UFC fight, or not everybody, but that one guy. We're not specifically talking about anybody. It's just the idea of what we're talking about. You have to understand that John prints these questions out 5 minutes before we walk in the door. I don't see any of these questions, and
We've never read most of them.
yeah, we don't read most of them
When
until
she
we get
puts
in
a
here.
video up, like this weekend, she put this video up on Friday. I read part of them Saturday morning. Most of these comments weren't there. Like, I just printed this shit off 5 minutes before we walked in the door.
I mean, Ren Noir, I think that's his name, right? Ren Noir? No, Ren Fighting for the. I'm sure he's a great guy. I mean, he's real big in the MMA world and in jiu-jitsu.
I've never even fucking heard
Yeah,
of him.
jiu-jitsu, which means he's probably a sweetheart. Reality, and I think he probably thinks he's doing the right thing. All I'm trying to do is give you ideas about, you know what, maybe we should do more here. Maybe we should do more here. And when I'm yelling at you, I'm not yelling at you, I'm yelling at that camera. So if it applies to you, take it, use it. Go out and fucking change the tires on your car, and if it doesn't apply to you, then it doesn't apply to you.
And if it hits home, fucking make a change, man.
Yeah, do something. Do something with your life.
You know what we forgot?
What do we forget?
We forgot. What episode is this?
Oh, shit. It's probably 37?
37. Gabby.
Oh, man, how'd I guess that?
Gabby, you're going to have to do some production on this one.
Yeah.
This is, we've already recorded this. It's now 6:23. It is Monday, February 11th. Podcast episode 37.
37. That's it. We're done.
What is that? 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
I don't know. We won that war.
3, 6, 7.
We won that war. I don't have to
Yes, you do.
speak that fucking gibberish.
All right.